Well, again, if people want to know, I'm JP Dominguez here on Jessica Dominguez TV. Thank you so much for watching week after week. Thank you for looking at all of our videos that we have here on Jessica Dominguez TV on YouTube. If you want to see more of them, go to jessicadominguez.com. And here I have, as usual, week after week, Attorney Jessica Dominguez. Thank you.
Give me a hug. Don't just give me a hand. I'm not just
Should
an
I give her a
invitee. Yeah, I'm your mama.
All right.
Hi, hijo. I wanted to feel very welcome.
So we've been receiving tons of questions because there are a lot of advertisements right now confusing a bunch of people about work permits, saying that certain people qualify for work permits. Does everyone qualify for a work permit?
No, GP, not everyone qualifies for a work permit. If they did, imagine we will have 11 million people come out of the shadows, get a work permit, and be able to work legally in the United States. No, not everyone qualifies.
So who qualifies for a work permit?
Those people who already have a case pending with either Citizenship and Immigration Service, such as asylum, if they have met the CLAC, there are even guidelines for that. Also, you qualify for a work permit if you, for example, have an adjustment of status pending, application pending, or if you have an employment-based case that it's going to be called for an interview anytime soon. Those people, because they already have an immigration paperwork that has been filed and qualifies for a work permit, can then get one issued. Or if they're in court, for example, if they have an immigration court hearing and they have a case that's pending and are defending under cancellation or removal, for example, in court, they can also apply for a work permit if they have met the CLAC guidelines.
So applications such as like the Visa U and DACA?
Yes, absolutely. People that have a U visa that's been approved get a work permit for 4 years, and DACA applicants also, once approved, get a work permit for 2 years.
Okay, so let's say we do qualify under the parameters that you just gave. What do you need to do if you qualify?
Well, first and foremost, your attorney or your legal representative will tell you when to file it and how to file it. But I would always advise for people to go to uscis.gov, print the form I-765 with its instructions, to read every single instruction that is given. And please do not just file an I-765 if you need a work permit, because if you do not qualify, if you don't have a case that's pending, your application is going to get rejected.
Do you qualify if you've lived in the U.S. for a number of years?
That's an excellent question, because the questions that you mentioned at the beginning, people that are writing to us that are saying, I'm listening to radio programs or to some TV advertisements where someone is offering me a work permit if I've been here for many years, be very, very careful. Even if you remember, it's been 3 decades since we have had comprehensive immigration reform. If it was true that you could qualify for a work permit because you have lived in the U.S. for many years, don't you think millions of people would also qualify to get a work permit? No. What those people are trying to do is they're either going to have a visit with you, go to ICE and say, I'm here undocumented, so that you can then be under the supervision of ICE. Or you could, for example, they could apply for asylum, and since you don't qualify for asylum, those people that don't qualify for asylum would be referred to an immigration court. And at that point, at immigration court with a judge, your asylum application is withdrawn, you apply for cancellation or removal, and you get a work permit in the meantime. But you won't get legal permanent residency, because we do have a video already about cancellation or removal, and I've explained to you how difficult it is to qualify. So please be careful. Even if you've resided in the country for over 10, 20 years, that does not make you eligible for a work permit.
Can my employer petition so that I can get a work permit?
Another good question. An employer can petition for a beneficiary employee for either a temporary visa or legal permanent residency. But if the person has already resided in the country without status for over a year, we already talked about this in one of our videos, they have a 10-year bar or a 10-year penalty. So it really wouldn't help for the employer to try to help this person to get legal permanent residency, because they would ultimately have to pay a 10-year bar outside of the country.
Very important information. I think the main message here is to know your rights, know what you can apply for, and at times, it may be even worse to apply for something that may be a benefit right there and then, but in the long term, be more of a mess. So thank you so much for being here, Attorney Jessica Dominguez. Make sure to share this important information with your friends and family. Like I said earlier, you can watch many of our other videos on jessicadominguez.com. You can follow us on all our social media networks, and make sure to subscribe, because if you subscribe, not only is it free, but you can get our videos on a weekly basis. We'll see you next time on People Want to Know.